So now let's look at the scaling up towards the growth. Since I have shown you all those things, so these are the basic stakeholders which support the startups and the innovation. First is basically the senior executive. So if you're forming your company, you must need to have a senior executive which comes around 25 to 35 years of industry experience. Now this senior executive can be from the academic background or the industrial background. So basically they are the people who have the traditional understanding of that particular domain. Then second is the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is 15 to 25 years of industrial. So basically their purpose is to exploit the latest technological development with the right business model. And the third is the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a person with 0 to 10 years of industrial experience. So they are the lead people who are basically the initial co-founders. So once they scale up towards the growth, so they need to have senior members or mentors or the entrepreneurs. And then you need to have a fourth is the investors. The investors which can actually invest in your particular business idea. So as soon as you have the investors, you need to have a right consultant who would basically scale up your business idea. And once you have the right consultants, you need to have a good designers who can actually focus on packaging your product. And then the last is the conscious entrepreneur. Conscious entrepreneur is the point where you add another side of it, where you show or you encourage your own company and move towards a social and ecosystem impact. Okay, now let's look at the legalities of starting a company. So section 2 of 85 of a Companies Act 2013 gives a detail about the small company. So since it's a very key concern of a startup whether they should have the company first and registered and then go for a business idea, or they should have the business idea, make the prototype, validate it, or then further on go for the company formation. So my advice is both the things work out, but the logic is that first you need to work on the business idea, and then formation of company is the last part where the co-founder need to work on the legalities of entering into a business commercial side of it. So it is always advisable that you start with a private limited company with a paid up capital which should not be more than 50 lakhs. Now, and the turnover should be not exceed 2 crores. So that is where you will come into the category of small companies. And once you come into the category of small companies, you will the co-founder can avail the benefits of the small companies, and by basically assigning and looking out for the benefits from the Startup India. There's a benefit that if you register yourself, then you will not be part of the taxations and other benefits related. If you are into the ecosystem enablement, into the health tech, social tech, or edutech, that is, you can also work on getting benefits for not paying the taxes to the government. So definitely those things can add as the value to the company. And these are some legal steps for commencement of formation of any business. So that is where you form a private limited company. So if two co-founders, they need to first form their DIN, which is Director Identification Number. Now, as soon as the DINs are formed, they need to have a digital signatures of the directors or the partner. Then they need to do an MCA name check. MCA is Ministry of Corporate Affairs. That is where they will check their name of the startups. The name of the startup basically is the form. When they put it in the company form, it can also create a duplicate in the name. So that is where they need to first do the MCA name check. As soon as the MCA clearance happen, then they need to work on going forward for some kind of a legal drafts for the agreements between the co-founders. And once those legal agreements are made, these agreements are documented in the form of MOA, which stands for Memorandum of Associations, and AOA, which stands for Article of Association. So these will have all those terms and conditions which involve the formation of the company and the working of the company and so many other things. So this is where the co-founders basically connect with company compliance people, which are company secretaries. So they'll help you form the right company structure. And then as soon as the company is formed, you need to pay fees to ROC. ROC stands for Registrar of Company, for registering a company. So once your company is registered, then you will have a company identification number and followed by incorporation certificate. So once you have company identification number and incorporation certificate, then you will have to apply for PAN, permanent account number, and then you will have to open a bank account. So when you open a bank account, this is where you share these bank accounts with the Innovation Council for receiving and the funds, the facilitation which will happen through this particular kind of a thing. So as soon as, since it's a private limited company, so as soon as you enter into third stage of growth and the commercial deal, that is where you need to include different directors or shareholders in the company in order to increase your valuation of the company. So you need to issue shares to the different directors, the independent directors, and then you also need to inform the ROC, the Registrar of Companies, within the 180 days as to who all people you have included in shareholding and given the shareholding rights and the director rights. And then with minimal size of, then you need to focus on audit and compliance, then you need to appoint a particular auditor, and this cycle will carry on. And then you need to have a special board resolution for the commencement of the business. So as soon as you'll have those things ready, you are into a more kind of a business side of